All right, I'm over it. I am over it. I have given this fishing line about 8 months of my life, and I'm just over it. I really am, guys. In this video, I really want to talk about high carrier test braided line. I've talked about this before in different videos, but I'm trying not to be frustrated, but the thing is that you have a lot of people out there who talk highly about a higher test carrier braid, an 8 and 9, and I've tried it, and I literally, I've tried so many different brands of this stuff, and I just don't understand it. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about some of my issues with this line, as well as kind of my fix for it. But anyways, before we get into all that, guys, this video is brought to you by Fin Fishing Apparel. For the month of August, I am running a big contest over on the website. For every dollar that is spent at Fin Fishing is an entry into a contest, a big giveaway. So I'm giving away 7 different bait cast rods. I'm also giving away a brand new bait cast reel. Also, anyone who purchases anything from Fin Fishing in the month of August gets a free mystery lure. So a lot of stuff is going out the door right now. Also, to enter that contest, you can absolutely do it for free as well. There's no purchase necessary. You just have to sign up for the newsletter on the front page of the website. So shopping at Fin Fishing is truly the best way to help support this channel, and right now is a great time with all these giveaways to do so. So I'm gonna leave some links down below in the description. All right, as I'm pulling this line off, I just want you guys to know I have really tried. Now, when it comes to a high carrier test, if you don't know what I mean, you probably do if you've been around fishing, but braided line is really composed of different strands of line woven together. Now, some braids are considered a low carrier braid, where that might be 4 different strands that is woven together, and some are higher carrier. They might be 8 or 9 different strands woven together. Now, the big thing over the last couple of years, last several years, has been that the high carrier test braids are smoother, they cast better, they're easier to manage, they're more limp. All these things about them, and I remember trying them when they first came out. I didn't like them. I tried them again. I have probably gone through, this is probably my 6th, I think this is my 6th different brand of a high carrier test braid. This one I will say I like the most out of all the ones that I have used, but even so, I have had a lot of issues with these braided lines. Now, the couple of big issues that I've had with these lines, and I would love to hear your guys' input on this, is one, these things get wind knots often. Now, I use a spinning rod a lot. I fish a lake a lot where we're fishing for a lot of smallmouth, and in general, you do a lot of finesse fishing. So I use a ton of spinning outfits. And so when I'm talking about a high carrier test braid, I'm really referring to it in this aspect on a spinning rod. I typically use 10-pound test braid on my spinning rods. Sometimes I will jump up to 15-pound test braid if I want, like if I'm fishing around a little bit bigger fish, maybe in a little bit thicker cover. But for the most part, 10-pound test braid is really where I like to be. That's what I use for all of my finesse, my Neds, my Nico rigs, drop shots, obviously your jig head minnow style baits, Nico, if I didn't say that already. I like 10-pound test braid. Now, the thing about this stuff is the more that it is used, it seems like the worse that it gets. Like the more wind knots you get, the kind of scratchier the line becomes. It really, honestly, it looks like dental floss. Like that's the best thing that I can compare it to, is dental floss. And something that I really don't like, I tie a FG knot between my 10-pound test braid to a fluorocarbon leader. Usually anywhere from 8-pound test fluorocarbon leader to 12 is kind of where I stick. I will tell you that I notice when I'm tying an FG knot with this braid, that high carrier test braid, is that you can literally see it shredding. Like as I'm tying just a simple overhand knot and I'm pulling it against itself, you will see the line almost kind of shredding. Like you see it start to almost come apart where there's like little tiny hairs, almost like fractures in the line that are coming out. And with that being said, this is the only line that I've ever pulled and actually been able to just straight up break it. Like I can't do it like braid to braid. Like when I have a braid to fluorocarbon, I've had more problems tying a braid to fluorocarbon knot with a high carrier test braid than any other braid that I've ever used in my life. Now, maybe that has to do with it being a 10-pound test. I'm sure that the higher pound test you go in the braid, maybe the little bit better knot it is going to tie. So if you're out there using it for ocean fishing, it might be a little bit different. But when it comes to 10-pound test braid, a lot of the bass fishing that I do, I'm just gonna be honest, like I have just had a miserable time with this line, and I gave this specific line almost like 8 or 9 months. Like I kept doing it. I'm telling you what, I have cut this off a lot of times because of these dumb wind knots. I've had it where you have 3 lines come out, and here's the thing. I have another bait cast or another spinning rod right here, okay? This spinning rod has 10-pound test braid, a different braid that I'll talk about here in just a moment. I've had these exact same outfits tied up for the last 8 or 9 months. Minimal issues with this braid, and it is 10-pound test braid. Like, I just don't understand it, and I feel like I am missing something. Like, I'm honestly coming on this video to try to like get some answers because I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know if it's just a marketing push. You know, I don't know if it's guys that are out there that are all using maybe the same brands and they're all trying to push it out there. I don't understand it. Like, I sincerely do not understand it because I have just had so many issues with these high carrier test braids. Now, you may be asking, Tyler, well, what is the answer? And the answer is honestly just going old school. Like, this right here is 10-pound test Power Pro braided line, like their standard line, like the original. This is a 4-carrier braid, and that is what I have on literally the rest of these rods right now, is this stuff right here. And it is a more stiff line. Like, it is definitely stiffer than the higher carrier test braids. But to me, when it comes to using it with 10-pound test, it does not make a difference. Like, I'm not getting further cast because of a limper line than I am with 10-pound test braid. I mean, this is the tiniest little diameter. Like, I don't even know, 2-pound test diameter, right? So, and that's like 2-pound test in a mono or a fluorocarbon. So you can cast perfect with both of them. You just have way more issues with the higher carrier test. And the thing is like, if you listen to a lot of guys talk about it out there, they're just all talking about the higher stuff. So I don't know, guys. I truly don't understand it. Every time I go back to 10-pound test Power Pro, I'm not sponsored by Power Pro. It's just, look, they sell this at literally like everywhere. They sell it at Walmart. Like, they sell it at Meijer. Now, obviously, you can use the link down below in the description at Omnia and pick you up some Power Pro, but they sell this stuff everywhere. And to me, I've just had no issues with it. Like, very little. I shouldn't say no issues. If you use, the more that you use a braided line, here's the other thing. The more that you catch fish on braid, the more that you are going to have those little twists, even on braid, that happen in the line. So if you are battling smallmouth all the time, so here's the thing. I think that guys who fish for smallmouth, this is truly what I believe. The guys who fish for a lot of smallmouth, who are using braid constantly and having their braid pulled out constantly. Like, you guys just saw Lake St. Clair. Like, it takes a couple of minutes to land smallmouth at times when you have them on tiny little baits and 8-pound test. When they are constantly being pulled up, I feel like you just use that braid more than maybe an angler who's a southern angler who randomly might throw, not all southern anglers, I shouldn't put you into a bucket, because there are southern anglers who maybe you fish on spotted bass factories where you're using a lot of spinning rods too. Like, you probably understand this as well. So I shouldn't lump you all together. Guys who don't use a spinning rod a lot may be fine with a high carrier test because they just don't experience the issues of the guys who literally day in and day out use them. So I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm just ranting and complaining, and I kind of am, but really I just want to know what you guys have seen, because for me, it's 10-pound test Power Pro or pretty much nothing else. I feel like at this point, you can't change my mind. Maybe there's a braid out there where you're like, Tyler, this is the deal. I know some of the most popular ones that guys always recommend are the Suffix 832. I've tried it. Some of the Berkeley's new braids, tried them. I feel like I've tried a lot of the fire lines that are high carrier tests. I've tried a lot, and I always come back to this guy right here. So one of those things that if it ain't broke, why try to fix it? But anyways, I want to hear you guys' opinions, so leave them down below in the description. Also, don't forget to check out the fin fishing gear. I'll see you guys tomorrow.